Now, so this does like to shoot all over the place, so let's wipe a bit of it on there first. That's all. That's about it. Like that's all I'm going to. I'd be expecting to do with that. That's cleaning up lovely there, like, and a bit of pitting in that. You know, unavoidable, like, from water getting in, but it's smooth now. You know, that's all we want. This lad in here, try and hit him as best I can with the Dremel. It might be a little bit harder to get in there. It is going to be a little bit harder to get in there. I don't know if we'll be able to reach with the... I'll try it. Yeah. Taking those Bendix apart is a right pain. I'll be mad about doing it again now. We'll get something done with it anyway. I'll get a bit of it in there. I don't think I have a bigger polishing palette. Probably just as better off nearly just using different grades of sandpaper, but look. She's doing a good job. So that definitely will smoothen it up a lot. That's what I find it does. Suppose it does what it says it does. It polishes it. That'll smoothen it. Just get a rag and just get it clean. Have a feel of it now. Yeah, God above, yeah. It might look like it's a little bit discoloured here and there, but by jizz, it's very, very smooth. So we'll go and get that special grease now, and we'll grease all that up. Okay. I'll put it down a little bit as well, below the, we'll call it the bearing surface. Just help maybe seal a bit of moisture out of it. Ah, yeah, that feels lovely. Lovely. And I'll just run a bit around here as well. Might just all just help seal it. Much as this is going to be in around the bell housing, Okay, so that looks good. Feels good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Lovely, smooth. Okay, so we'll put that to one side. Now we can just work on this, see what we need to do with it. Anywhere the electricity passes, I like to have clean, so you just get resistance that turns to heat and wastes your power. You want these to send the power to the commutator. Okay, shiny. Right, so what did we do the last time? We probably are better putting the Bendix in, maybe, are we? Might hold it in here because it's the safest place, I think, between them two holes. Okay. Just like in the dynamos, that doesn't have to be cleaned. What I would like to clean though is that, and I think my only chance of cleaning that is going to be wire brushes. Don't want time that going into my bearing surface in there. I would normally take all this apart and shot blast all in and around that. We want this cap, this casing to close in as snugly as possible so that you have the least amount of end play in the shaft going through it. Simple as that. But it will get away, I think, just cleaning around it a bit. With a bit of wire, with a bit of sandpaper. It's actually in really good condition. They said this dates to 1960, I think is what's written out. I look up the model numbers now and cross-reference them in the workshop manual for the Go Belly. Good chance this would have been the model that was used on it, and the Massey Ferguson 35 petrol and TVO. Slightly revised, but it has, see how many teeth it has here on the end. It should be the same as the TVO, so we'll mark him in red there. So we've 9 teeth, that's what we want. So what was I doing? Yeah, just probably make a mess of this with the paper. Nuts and bolts and cleaning, that's what the majority of this work involves. Scrape in there. A Dremel actually would be the ideal with the wire brush on that, nice and neat. Maybe that's the way to go, I'm starting to think. Yeah, that's the way to go now. Tighten it up. Yeah, that's going to work nice. I think this Dremel is half shagged now. You can hear the whatever bushings in it or whatever. It's a bit rattly sometimes. And we'll do the same this side here. No, other way around. Might be a couple of thousandths of an inch of a difference, so it might. But it may as well make the difference. Okay, so we said we'd hold it. I think this one now had a good bit of end floater. That's just all going to rattle everything around. It's just going to make, it's going to take away from the speed of the starter and all that. Okay, so push them in there and out of the way. I'm going to blow this out with an air gun then, because I'm going to want this to be half clean anyway. Clean him out with the Dremel. And the dimple goes. I'll just give that a blow out with the air gun and I'll come back. There's our dimple there, and that's going to go in there. So we don't have anything else to do there, bar that. Now this is where it's going to get a little bit fun, if I'm not mistaken, unless I put my springs in afterwards. I think that's what I might be better off doing. Otherwise it gets a little bit awkward. So we have two spare places here, so across from each other like that. That'll go on easy. It'll go on easy now, like, but if you had all them springs in, different kettle of fish. That's exactly what I think we're going to have to do. I don't think there's any getting away from this at all. Let's see. Let me see now. That's meant to be pushed up, I suppose, in there, isn't it? No, it's not, but we'll probably get away if we could keep it up a bit to give us more space on this side. Thinking as we go along as usual. Our hole for that lag is there, positive feed in, or negative, whatever way you run your earth. negative originally, I think. And that goes there. So we're going to have to work around now with springs. Mightn't be too bad now that we have a bit more space here. Get him pulled back a bit. These will not affect electrical flow or anything like that. It's just a matter of trying to get them in the right place. Yeah, something like that, I think. And then the I have to do then is I have to bend. Probably, look, the lads that have probably been doing this for years and they know exactly what to do, like get a loop of wire maybe, pull it up through. Maybe that's the best. I might have a look here and see quickly. I can pull it up at a loop. Loop of wire up through where we need it to go. Then again, it could be awkward. I think I have to go around the front of it, don't I? Back in, yeah, that's not going to be much of a help, I think. No. Just a little bit awkward. Okay, so we have that one on, but just not in the right place. I like it to be right in the middle, just like when I was putting the dynamo together. Of course, it's halfway stuck around the wire. It's a point where I can't get a grip on it. Okay, so we'll just play around. The good news is there's 3 more of them to do. I haven't even got one, you know. It's going to be a matter of playing around with my pick as well to get that. Where are we? Which one? We can do this actually off, can't we? That would make a lot more sense, I think. I'm going to have to get a few of these fairly right first, and then right in the middle is what I like. That's a negative one, so it doesn't matter if it's touching any earths. Make sure it's pushing fairly level. Still caught on the wire, so it's not pushing level. Yeah, there we are. That's pushing level. So while we're at it, this one here seems to be, I'll have to give him a bit of a clean up. I think the shot blast material got down into him. So I'll give him a clean up here. We're going to want that spring with all its pressure on this. Genuine Lucas replacement anyway. Okay. that goes in there. So make sure that that's not sticky at all. It is, yeah, we're a little bit dirty inside there. So I'll get a file in there with that. So just a bit rusty. Now is the time for doing all of this. We'll get on the top there to clean as well. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. I swear these are the exact same springs as in the dynamos. Was it made sense for them to be? So, isn't it this way? I think. No, it's got to be like that. So it's got to be this way. Like that. So I'll probably just put 2 of these on and try and do the other 2 when I'm actually have it kind of nearly fitted. That is the challenge, is to get it between those 2 wires without making shite of them. Because once you start pushing them down like that, it can be hard to get them flat again. So that's what we want. You want to see that springing it in, pushing it in nice and level and free. It'll be your strongest starter when it does that. Okay, there we go. So I said I might try it with this lad's a bit hairy now. He's going to be fun now. He's going to be fun. I'm going to put a spring in between them 2 wires. So all of these want to be the dirty old dry sticky grease. Get all that off. I want to also talk about the quality of videos on YouTube. I got a new phone and I was wondering why, when I was watching videos on YouTube, that my own included, the quality was so bad. Then I went into settings, so I pressed the kind of the house symbol, the home symbol, the bottom left of the home screen. I went into my own settings and I selected something like to do with image quality or video quality, and I clicked high quality. And now when I watch videos, they're far better. Once you have a good internet connection, that's all you need. Same with these videos. That's what I do. If YouTube plays my videos and everyone else's videos at 360 pixels, whereas this has been recorded in 1080, so it's 3 times better. That's what I do to anyone who's a little bit peeved off sometimes about the quality of videos. Go into your home symbol, go into your settings and change it to high. If you're watching, if you're doing the likes of this, what I'm doing here, and you want to see, you know, in detail apart or whatever, what's going on, you know, it'll annoy you if you can't. So that's what I do. If you're going to go bother looking at videos, you may as well be looking at them in the best quality as possible. So that's 2 of them on. Just if I keep that up now, I'd be clamped. Only 2 clamps. That would make life a lot easier as well. Awkward enough now. Anyway, yeah, that's just because I know I might play my own now. They're straight away in great quality. Way better quality, I should say. Because I've selected that. Yeah, this is nice, ideal now. This is ideal. Yeah. Might try just grab, see if I just grab that. I might move over to the other vice because it's narrower teeth on it, narrower jaw on it, whatever they call it. If it's wide enough to go in, that way I'll be able to hold just the casing. So we're getting into the fiddly bit now. Yeah, two 1960, I think it is. February 1960. We'll look up them part numbers and see are they tying in with the gold belly. So that's in there. Have the little spring lining up there. So try. It's awkward. It's a bit awkward now. Can't really get anything in there to pull it. It's just going to be a matter of fiddling with it a little bit. People doing these, I say, all their working lives, and they'd have these in, I'd say, jig time. I always find them just a little bit awkward, but we always win in the end. Like, there we go. So the pick is the man here. And the same thing, pull the 2 wires apart, because that is not necessarily pushing evenly on the middle. Should be going right between the 2 of them. Should help that. The wires will actually help locate it. Okay, so we've 3 in. 3 came then to count of on then of 3 done and 1 more to do. So here it is, nice and cleaned up. These are the positive ones. So get the last one to see. One thing I did forget to do, stupidly enough, but I should be able to drag it out enough to there. So I'm going to get this other one. I'm not going to have you watch me do that, boring the life out of you. I'll get the last one in, and I'm just going to try and get a bit more greasing around that. Okay, I took it all off again because you know what? Let's just grease them up properly. And I think I've learned an easier way of actually doing this. Putting the springs on first, maybe. I think it was the way I said. Put the springs on first. This is what all the people have noticed all their lives are probably shouting at the screens. Put the springs on first. Then you can pull them back instead of trying to fiddle around with them. Okay. Oh yeah. Back on my truss washers. That's very thick. I'm surprised about that now, but look, we'll go with it. It was there, it was on it. So we'll just put it back. They're not meant to be greased. Self-lubricating. So now we have our plate there, plenty of grease there. Okay, so what way is our little post there? So he's there, positive feed in. So what we can do now, I'd say, is pull back each of these in turn and get them on. This is the problem, you can do with another set of hands. So I'm pushing against something that is also wants to come out. So that's one there. Okay, two of them on. That's good. Lovely. Now we have our springs in. Our springs all in. So we're just going to try it this way. So maybe, you know, taking this apart again is just a good little exercise because we've two more to do there. So now we're going to try and just simply pull the spring back out of the way. Horse him in. At the same time locate him right between the two of them. Okay, that's good. That are working out. And we're on the commutator, so that's good. And now we can give this lad a spin. Hopefully it's not go falling all over the place. And we have this one to do here. So the same crack. I think this is the way to go now, to have your springs fitted first. Chocolate and pick. With the other picked end, pull the wires apart, let him locate them. In the middle, feels lovely, feels good. Give him a little spin around here, make sure it's looking good, the other two inside. Okay. Locate him a bit better, a bit more in the middle. I'm happy with that. So our post, our feed in here now has to go down through that hole there. So that's that. Camera all the time going out of focus. Okay. Right, push right up. Now, wasn't there meant to be bit better of an insulator on that? That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put my efforts, focus my efforts into putting a better insulator, because there was a bit of a pipe on it, which is fine, but just is a little bit dodgy looking. I like it, so I'll try and find something a bit better, a bit stronger of a tubing or something out for it. That's just asking for problems now. That is, what sort of width are we? If I had a grommet or something, I would nearly do. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go for a bit of fuel pipe or something over that. I'm not happy with what was there. Let's do it. This will do it. This is lovely and strong. Real thick stuff, it's really plasticky kind of rubber. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. So I'm going to cut it into that. That's lovely, thick stuff. Okay, so there should be a little dimple where this goes in. So we're going to push all that in. That's only earth, so it's not massively important. It doesn't matter if it hurts. That's kind of what we wanted to do. Okay. So we'll take a nice little length of this. Should be able to manhandle that in there, I think. Cut a length of it. This is the difference between it working well and bit of a firework display that you didn't order happening. So it's a bit in tight, but I'd say but even put snouty pliers over it, it should tread down. If we get that in, that's good and strong. It'll probably take a little while, and I'm just going to go with the slow route of treading it in. So I'll come back when I have that in. If we look in there, probably just see it. It's just after treading in through. So that is a lot more solid now. And it's insulated more importantly. And it's good and strong stuff, like it's solid. So that's not going anywhere. So that's sort of doing the job nicely. So I have more of that there if we need for other starters. So now we can work on this end here and literally bolt other long screw bolts in. It's turning lovely, and yep, I'm happy with that. I think the band is missing off this one, but he told me he has it, so he just forgot to give it to me, so that'll be a job for another day. So we just line up our dimple there and we can try our bolts for a fit, and then we can put it across the battery and see does it work. So we got a rubber insulator med for it. Then there was this metal ring. What that does, it goes around the insulator and it's acting as a spacer so that our washers can sit above this casing. So we have some fibre kind of lads there, and I just gave him a bit of a clean up. Let's give him a bit better of a clean up there, and power has to go through him, so we may as well. Let's actually bolt this bench to the truss there behind it. So this will screw in and act as a kind of a lock nut. So we'll give him a little pinch. Brass is always lovely to work with. It's forgiving. I'll keep all this nice and snug. Now we're ready to put in our long screw bolts. I gave both of them just a quick rub with the wire brush on the drill. So before I do that, let's put a bit of small bit of grease. I don't want it written on everything along the way, just a small bit. And it can thread its way up. That's sort of finding its place there, very handy. That's good. And that one. There we go. I think that's. This seems to be metal rather than aluminium, some of the earlier ones. So I must look up the workshop manual for the 35 Pesser and TVO and see the model number. Is this the one that should have been fitted to them? It definitely is a little bit later than a TVO, as much as it most likely would fit TVO, because it has 9 teeth and it's probably the same distance there. So it's our little dimple lined up here. Yeah, so we're good to drive these home. Okay, and I usually just give these a quick nip then with pliers, because I like to keep the amount of end float in the shaft minimal. Just give a spin there and make sure everything's. Oh, that's lovely and tight now, because there was a bit of end float in it there. Can't feel any now, so I suppose that's all down to the cleaning of the ends and all of that. Shot blasting and whatnot. Yeah, feels really good, yeah. Really good. So now at this stage what I do is I just have a quick look in, make sure that there's no wires, that's earth, we don't mind him. Make sure that nothing is in the way of earth. Okay. Okay. So I don't really like the look of that now. Oh no, it's okay. Yeah. I'll make sure that that's not bit of bare wire. Now there's insulating material all around it, so that should be fine. That is positive one as well, so the band will go around that, and there'll be kind of or there should be kind of a sticky kind of a thing, sticker around that you line up with that, and that'll stop that earth into the pad. Now I usually make them out of plastic paper if they're missing off, so give this a final little wiggle now and make sure it's good. So that's a bit loose, so we'll come to the end of the threads that we have. I'll take it off and I will put another one underneath it, because there was a few of them with it. Just want all of that snug, that's all. Yeah, that's snugging up there nicely. Okay, so now we won't need these other spare insulators, so I'll put them back in the tray. What we will need is a washer, and there's a washer here, so we'll give him a quick rub. Shine him up a bit, get the rust off him. And we'll need another washer as well. It's not great. I might go and replace that with a better washer. You want it to be flat and clean. Simple as that. So I'll go and grab 2 washers and I'll clean them and come back. Okay, so I just hitched up a battery lead to this quickly. We're on the other side. I want to see that this Bendix is working. Bendix should pull that in like that when it's turning, and it should go back then when it's not being used. So cleaned up an earth there, so that will go on the earth lead there. We'll keep our hands away from that. Yeah, there we go. Is the Bendix working? Yeah. Okay. Try and keep it running for longer to make sure it's spinning good and fast. Yeah. Okay, so we're happy with that. It's after down to the top there. I'm hoping it's not hurting anywhere, but I suppose you're going to get that when you just go sitting it on top of things. There's no heat at all, so that's good. So we also have just pulled out the next starter here. This one's the one that the man said he has the band for me. It's not on it there at the moment. The band goes around there. And I just had pulled off all the nuts off there. It's just as well as it did, because I don't see how this one was ever going to work, because one of the nuts was tightened right into the aluminium casing, and that of course is earthed. So I have a fibre insulator washer here, so that will go over there, and then we put on our nuts. So we have our brass nuts, so we give them the usual quick shine up. So after having a look in this starter, everything looks perfect. I don't think there's even any need for cleaning it, for taking it apart. It's dated 1954. This all looks very clean to me. It's like someone fitted in a more later end on it, with all of the brushes and everything in it. They're slightly different inside. They're a little bit more modern looking, so it looks like this maybe might have been overhauled. And I can see bits of solder and stuff in there, some bits soldered, so I'd say that's what's going on now. So now we have our insulator on. It's just as well I noticed that. I'm going to take off the one on the inside because actually this other one in my hand here was what was on the inside, so I'll put that on. We'll just keep everything in the same order. This is a slightly wider nut as well, so that's what you're going to want when you have a battery cable. You're going to want to go as wide as possible. This is the one that was just in again there, and we can put a wider washer up against after this. It's a bit tight there for whatever reason. This seems to be kind of a metal rather than a I hope this is the right thread. Seems to be fighting me now a lot. I did take it off, I don't remember it being this tight. Last thing we want is it to make sure it's not making shit of the threads. Seems to be a perfectly good fit for a 7/16 spanner. I don't know, maybe it's meant to be a bit of a... No, I'm not happy with that, that's too tight. That's not good. That's not right. It's going to end up damaging it inside. That's why twisting this lad. Yeah, it's definitely not. Something wrong with that now. I think someone was chancing their arms there, so I should have spares then. I'll go and grab my washer. They're in a box. Yeah, I'll get them now.